Good analysis here, Dagan. Your thoughts on this?
It's a disappointing report at 98,000. Even on the kind of the low end of expectations, this is well short of what we should have seen. But again, kind of a correction in the construction jobs. That was what I was watching. 58,000 in February, coming in at 6,000 in the month of March. So that's where a lot of your weakness showed up.
Could be weather related, you think?
Right.
Which is what we discussed earlier, Joni.
Yeah, you know, I think no surprise with the retail jobs certainly being down. I can say that I did expect this number to be much stronger today. I'm surprised it's low. The mining jobs are up. I can tell you we're seeing that in our energy business. We have a strong demand in that energy sector. The oil and gas companies are starting to hire again. I see it in the business that there's a stronger demand in the market. Professional and business services up 56,000. So those professional jobs again are out there. The jobs in the STEM field, the jobs in healthcare. But I do think and to Terry's point before about the retail sector and the brick and mortar, that mix of business is really changing.
Yeah.
And those jobs are going away, and people in that sector are going to have to take their skills and look for jobs in other sectors that are growing.
Terry, you were right to zero in on retail. That's what put torpedoed this report, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could see it coming, Maria. It's not a big surprise to me. You know, living here in the city of Chicago, you see some of the highest-end brick-and-mortar stores going away. There needs to be something changed in either tax laws or something else to incent people, because not only are you going to have a problem with retail, it's going to drag into the residential component of the marketplace once retail continues to be in trouble and you get more and more closings, because retail has a big influence, in my opinion, on residential in major metropolitan areas. So, you know, some of these politicians are going to have to rethink about how their tax codes are working.
Yeah, for sure. Brian Bradbury.
To Jack's point earlier, though, I think we need to pay attention to the gap between the ADP number and the BLS number. You're going to see a correction in this next month. So next month's number is going to be very telling. The other piece of pretty good news here is the wage growth, 2.7% year over year. That's what people at home are looking for. My wage is going to grow. Am I going to get paid more? The month-over-month number is good. The year-over-year.
Slower than it was in the month of February. It was 2.8 in February, and it needs to be close to 3%.
It does, but it's hanging around in the right area. We didn't see a big drop off there. I think that's good news, especially given the retail number. If the retail number's that low, that wage number's not bad.
I wish that we'd actually seen the unemployment rate tick up, because that might have meant that more people were coming into the workforce. This suggests that 63% is probably going to stay right where it is. The energy story is very interesting, Joni. One of the things that's going on there is all these companies that got just destroyed when the price of energy fell have actually cleared out the books now. They declared bankruptcy. The banks ate the damage, and now they're bouncing back. We've got a story in Barron's tomorrow about how there's actually some investing opportunities in some of these companies that were left for dead, that we actually warned about 2 or 3 years ago. Now their books look a lot better, and we think there's opportunity.
Specifically energy stocks.
Yes, exactly.
All right, well, we're going to talk more about what's in Barron's over the weekend. Steve Cortez, got to get you in here. You were expecting a much better number. Here we are at 98,000 versus an estimate of 180,000. Your thoughts?
Right. So, no, listen, clearly it's a big miss. You can't shine a sneaker. You can't make this report look great. I will tell you one thing, though, that is good in this report, and that is U6 coming in, which in many ways is really, I think, the true unemployment rate for the country as a whole, for total employment. That coming in under 9% is very good news. So a bad report on the whole, but if we want to look for a silver lining, I would say the U6 number is optimistic.
Obviously, Joni, retail was really one of the big weak spots here, and as Dagan noted earlier, construction. Where were the opportunities? Is there hiring that you can see right now?
Yeah, I mean, certainly hiring continues in healthcare. That sector has been strong for the last few years. We've seen it again that the healthcare jobs are coming back with 14,000 jobs created for the month. The professional and business service sector, we certainly see, like, you know, many of companies here in the U.S. are even bringing back more customer service jobs that were overseas, bringing them back to the U.S., building more customer service call centers in the United States. Those jobs will definitely come back, and that may be an opportunity for people in retail, certainly, to make a transition. But I do expect that the STEM jobs will continue to be very strong. The oil and gas sector will continue to add jobs, especially what's happening in the world today. I think they'll look to the U.S., and we see opportunities certainly in Texas and North Dakota right now are very, very strong.
And what we're seeing right now is this dynamic where if you're an in-demand worker, you have a lot of opportunity. We've seen the job quits number go go up, which means that if you have opportunities, you're looking for those opportunities, you're pursuing them. If you're on the margin, if you're not in one of those preferred fields, you're still having a hard time finding those jobs. You're still having a hard time getting those wage gains. So we do have something of a bifurcated economy right now when it comes to the labor market and who's gaining from it and who's still being left behind.
And that's a reminder of the crucial importance of education. I'd love to see the unemployment number for college-educated people. I bet it's sub 2%.
Yeah, look at this. The economy needs to create 75,000 to 100,000 jobs a month to keep up with the growth in the working age population.
Yeah, so that's all, which is actually a very low number. But all these people without the skills, they're not going to find jobs.
That's why you didn't see a pickup in wage inflation at all.
Yeah.
2.7% growth year over year is still kind of poor.
Yeah, go ahead, jump in here.
You know, Maria, I just wanted to state about retail. I think it's important to note here, though, it's not as though the retail sector as a business isn't doing well. A lot of retail workers are suffering, and I'm not discounting that. That's very real. The Amazon effect is unfortunately taking a lot of jobs out of the sector, but the sector as a business is actually doing really well, and we got data yesterday from Costco, which I think backs it up, and Costco is a company that doesn't really compete directly with Amazon. You don't tend to buy things like steaks and fresh food from Amazon, and Costco for March had up 6% same-store sales growth year over year, which was a massive beat. The stock traded very well on top of that. So I think the retail sector, the consumer is strong right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at retail stocks, I think that shows consumer strength. So I don't think we have to be careful when we talk about the retail sector. There are problems with retail jobs, but not problems with the consumer right now.
Well,